OpenAI has finally released its native image generator, now integrated directly into the GPT-4 Plus models. It's available to both free and paid users, though the free tier has stricter usage limits. That said, it doesn't seem to be rolled out to all accounts just yet. I've been experimenting with the tool and got some pretty awesome results. You can access it through ChatGPT or Sora. I'm sticking with ChatGPT because I like the conversational interface. To check if it's available on your account, go here. It should now say Updated. It used to say DALL-E, but it no longer relies on it for image generation. However, if you still want to use DALL-E, you can access it through a custom GPT. Alright, let's dive into some examples. First, I wanted to see if I could generate images of politicians, so I asked for an image of Donald Trump eating a hamburger. The result looked just like him, and the burger looked pretty good too. Then I tried generating a caricature, and the outcome was hilarious. I could definitely see this being used to create funny memes. What's nice is that in the second prompt, I didn't even have to mention his name, just said him, and it still worked. That's one of the reasons I like using ChatGPT for image generation. The conversational style makes the whole process of creating and editing images feel really natural. If you want to generate multiple images at once, just open multiple tabs and generate in each one. Next, I tried generating an infographic on different types of workouts based on fitness goals, and the result was impressive. I won't go into the full prompt, but everything I asked for showed up in the image. The color scheme, the text, silhouette-style icons, and the overall layout. Spot on. I created this wedding invitation, and once again, it nailed the look. It even got the delicate font for the names just right, along with a smaller serif font for the date and time, perfectly styled. I had used the same prompt in Leonardo AI a while back. While Leonardo's version came out more elegant and visually refined, its text rendering wasn't nearly as good. You can also request edits. For example, I asked it to regenerate the image using pastel gold, blue, and white tones. The new version kept the overall design, though the flower pattern changed slightly. Interestingly, it didn't use pure white. Rather, it went with an off-white shade. Since I specifically said pastel, and white isn't technically a pastel color, it chose a softer alternative. That subtle choice actually shows off its reasoning skills, which I thought was pretty impressive. You can also create book covers, like this one here. And here's the version I made with Leonardo. Honestly, I'm not sure which one I prefer. They both look great and mostly nailed the text. The only thing they missed is that the author's name should have been in italics. I also experimented with generating a sales ad. This version got everything right in terms of layout and text, but the design feels a bit plain. Leonardo's version, on the other hand, looks more polished and visually appealing. The aesthetics are definitely stronger, even though the text isn't fully accurate. Next up, I generated a logo for a coffee shop. ChatGPT got the color palette right, even included the steam rising from the coffee cup, just as I described. Leonardo's version came out nicely too. Here's ideogram, and in terms of visual detail, I think it did the best. The text wasn't accurate, but to be fair, I generated that a while ago, so its text rendering might have improved since then. This image I created in Leonardo really impressed me with how well the Phoenix model followed a complex prompt. I decided to test the exact same prompt in ChatGPT, and it nailed it too. It was a long, detailed description, and it delivered everything I asked for. Really impressive. Here's another example that stood out. The only issue is that some of the text gets cut off at the top and bottom, but it still nailed the creative elements. 5 wizards in boxing stances and a cat sitting on a lap in the bottom corner, exactly what I asked for. Leonardo couldn't get this right at all. Its text rendering was a mess, and it left out some of the characters. Ideogram also missed the mark. While I like the art styles from both, neither followed the prompt as well as ChatGPT did. Before we move on, just a quick note. I adjusted the aspect ratio by including in the prompt aspect ratio 9:16. You can also generate images with a transparent background, like this one featuring cute kawaii animals. It's perfect for dropping into Canva, where you can easily isolate each animal and use or sell them as individual Clipart pieces. Here's another example: Pixar-style superhero stickers. Notice the white outline around each character. That's because I specifically asked for stickers. At first, my prompt was declined for being too closely inspired by Pixar's superhero characters. ChatGPT offered to generate them in a more general animation style instead, and I agreed. Next, I tried creating a comic book using a prompt where I asked for 4 panels and described what I wanted in each one. The result was impressive. Seriously, it turned out great. There are a couple of small text errors. I'm pretty sure this one was supposed to say boom, but overall the quality is solid. What really stood out to me is the consistency. The scientist character appears wearing the same clothes and glasses. That level of continuity is hard to pull off, and I'm genuinely impressed by how well it rendered the whole strip. Now, what you're probably wondering is, can it actually create consistent characters across multiple images? To test this, I used the mail lady example that OpenAI demonstrated about a year ago. I explored this in more detail in a previous video, so check that out if you haven't already. To start, I created an image of Sally. Then I told ChatGPT I wanted to use all of Sally's features from that image to generate more images with a consistent look. It responded with a detailed description of Sally and even offered suggestions for what I could request next. I used its suggestion, and here's Sally delivering mail. She looks nearly identical, except her name badge is now blue instead of white. Next, I asked for Sally driving a mail truck, and once again, the appearance remained consistent. Up to this point, all the Sally images had a 2D illustration style, but I wanted to switch things up and see her in a 3D Pixar-like animation. So I asked ChatGPT to regenerate the scene in that style. The result looked great. Sally looked like a Pixar version of herself, and even the truck design stayed consistent. The only small issue was that her name badge appeared on the wrong side, but overall, it did an impressive job. So far, so good, but can it create consistent photorealistic characters? Let's find out. Here's our photorealistic woman, June. I followed the same approach as with the mail lady. Generate the initial image, then tell ChatGPT to use the character's details to create more images with the same appearance. Here's June drinking coffee at an outdoor cafe. She looks the same, though her shirt is tucked in this time. Next, she's riding a bike through a park. The image is close, but her face looks a little different from the first one. Then I changed her clothes and hairstyle and got this version. She kind of looks like June, but not exactly. Here she is again, styled in a retro look and standing in front of a classic car. This time, she doesn't really look like June, at least not to me. So I told ChatGPT her face looked different, and after a couple of new generations, I finally got an image that matched June's original appearance. I wanted to see if I could use an uploaded image, one not created in ChatGPT, as a character reference. I chose an image of a character I originally created in Leonardo. As you can see, Leonardo is great at generating consistent characters. In fact, I used the same prompt to create June as I did for this character. After uploading the image, I told ChatGPT I'd be using it as a reference for consistent character generation and gave the character a name. I asked for a scene of her running through a field of daisies. The outfit matched the reference well, but her face didn't quite look the same. I tried prompting again, this time pointing out the facial difference and asking it to refine the character description. But the results didn't improve. The outfit remained consistent, but the face still didn't match. So, It seems this is a current limitation when using uploaded images for character reference. I was curious to see if I could upload an image and use it for pose or structure control. I grabbed a silhouette of a ninja in a fighting stance from Pixabay and prompted to generate an image of June wearing a ninja outfit and mimicking that pose. While she still looked like June, the stance was completely off. I pointed that out and asked to describe the pose from the uploaded image. Then I regenerated the image using that description, but the result still wasn't accurate. I'm not sure if the issue is with the uploaded image or something else, but this is definitely something I want to explore further in another video. But what about using a style reference? I uploaded this mid-journey image and asked ChatGPT to generate an image of June in that same style, and it executed it flawlessly. You don't even need to upload an image for style reference. You can just describe the style in your prompt like I did here. You can also change the background. Now, Anime June is standing in front of a school. It's not perfect. The background isn't an exact match to the uploaded image, but it's pretty close. ChatGPT also includes an image editor. I used it to change June's shirt to red. To access the editor, just click on the image, make your selection, and then describe the change you want. In this case, I didn't have to use the editor. I could have just prompted for a red shirt, but I wanted to demonstrate how the tool works. That wraps up my first test run with this image generator, and overall, I'm impressed. Its ability to understand prompts and render text accurately stands out, and it handled consistent characters well, at least when it had control from the beginning. It did fall short when trying to match a character from an uploaded image, and some visuals weren't as polished as what you'd get from other tools like Leonardo or Midjourney. For example, the sales ad looked a bit plain in comparison. It also takes a bit longer to generate images, likely because the tool just launched and is seeing heavy use. On the plus side, it looks like there's no limit on image generation for paid accounts, which is a big advantage. And perhaps the biggest strength of all, being able to generate and edit images using the power of ChatGPT's large language model. Now I'd love to hear from you. Have you tried this tool? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this video helpful, give it a like and don't forget to subscribe for more content. Thank you for watching.